Hey, everybody, listen, it is about to go up. We're excited to join you today as we are going to be talking about the Game Changer Public Speaking Boot Camp. I'm Kenston Henderson, and I have the pleasure of introducing you to my brother, Lawrence Henderson. Now he's officially known as Dr. Lawrence Henderson. And so we are excited about it. You may hear the alarms going off. That is the 12 o'clock alarm. So that means it's really time to get it started. So let us know in the chat where you're coming in from. And really what we want to do is really just talk about public speaking, the public speaking boot camp that we have coming up in March. And whether you are a professional speaker, whether you desire to be better in public speaking, this boot camp is just for you. And so we're going to just be have a candid conversation. I call it unscripted. So to the point where we'll talk a little bit about our journey of public speaking. And so, Lawrence, welcome. Just tell the folks a little bit about who you are.
What's going on, bro? Dr. Lawrence Henderson here, officially in the building. Y'all, my background is military, then transitioning into the world of work, and then somebody had the bright idea that I was going to start doing public speaking, which has been an exponential resource for me and my ability to train, facilitate, and do all the things when it comes to engagement. And so my military background, I believe, was the foundation of all of it. Constantly in positions of having to communicate a message clearly, concisely, so someone could go do something with the words that were coming out of my mouth. And it actually makes sense. And so I think that foundation of being clear, purpose, vision, direction, and then navigating into this world of work in civilian sector, I didn't know that there were tangible and transferable skills. And so getting into the practice of public speaking, I think has been a phenomenal exercise, one in humility and me understanding what my little quirks are. And I'll tell a quick story. I was a part of a Toastmasters club when I first transitioned out, a corporate club. And I never forget some of the feedback that I got from one of the people, because if you know anything about Toastmasters, you have those people that are going to give you feedback. And this one lady kept telling me she was distracted by my double Dutch arms. And I'm like, double Dutch arm? What's she talking about? Well, y'all, as I was talking, my hands, they were doing some stuff. And now I learned that you sometimes in public speaking, you got to holster your hands, but use your hands as an intentional tool to help grow the talk or whatever you're going to be doing. And so, yeah, I just love the idea of this skill being something that everyone can have access to. And I'm excited to be a part of this experience that Kenston is delivering to the world. And so when you think about Kenston, I talked about my double Dutch arms, but what are some other common challenges people face in public speaking?
I will say, listen, one is, you see, before we get to that, we got to go back because I feel like you told a half truth of when you started publicly speaking. Because I mean, for us, we grew up in a household of, let's see, six women or six girls. I mean, five girls and my mother. And so we were the last of seven children. Those who are listening now, if you don't know a little bit about us, we are the last two of the total of seven children. And so we had a pretty big family, including our mom and our dad. And so our public speaking started right there at home, right? But it went to where it started at church. And it's so funny when people ask me, where did public speaking start for me? It was at the church. I can remember really clearly starting in the youth choir, the teen choir, and so being in front of people, having to do Christmas plays and Easter plays. That was kind of our introduction to public speaking. And here's the thing: our church wasn't a small church. It was actually a pretty large church where there was more than 700 people on any given Sunday. And so that's kind of where we got our start, at being in front of a crowd of people and having to, whether we speak or whether we start singing. And but I, my time, I remember this one good time where I was challenged in choir rehearsal, and we had this choir director. I ain't gonna call his name. I would say Kevin Harris, who was teaching a song, and he decided that he wasn't getting the right notes from the tenor section. And so the tenor section was not performing at their best. And so that caused Kevin Harris to say, you know what? I need each tenor to stand up and sing their part. And I was the youngest in the choir at that time. I believe I got into the choir just because you and all, the other siblings was in the choir. So they let this 11-year-old boy get in there and into the choir. But I remember that incident really clearly, that when it was my turn to sing, there was just something in me that says, let's go. Right. It was just like a challenge. And it was just like, it's showtime. And then I sung up, I stood up and sung. And that's what I remember vaguely, and how I begin to say, to start the internal system of saying it's showtime. Like it's about to go down. And so, that's a little bit of where it began.
Mhm.
But one of the things that I see today, and once people come into the speaker boot camp, uh, they get clear on how to say what they need to say and then stop talking. Right? Not saying too much, because people tend to say a lot. They're explaining a lot. They're giving a lot of details, but just depending on who you're speaking to, you may not need to give all of those details. So in the speaker boot camp, you're going to get some of those things that will help you out to communicate even better. Some other quirks are, as you can see, as me as a public speaker, as a professional speaker, I still sometimes say um uh, those filler words. So we gonna work on those. And that's the thing. It takes work, intentional work. So yeah, man, that's a few things that I notice about people.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and
yeah.
I think one of the things you're pointing to, Kenston, in being intentional about when you communicate, how you communicate, and that being a very foundational skill. And
Mhm.
that means also a conscious skill when it comes to public speaking, hearing the ums, the ahs, the uhs, and it not being overdone. Right? It's almost like someone who is trying their hardest to wean themselves off of using curse words. Nobody does that. Nobody uses curse words in language, but it's hearing it before you say it,
Yeah.
and really leaning into, okay, am what I'm about to say going to serve who I'm trying to communicate it to, or will it become noise to the overall message? And so I think when it comes to this speaker boot camp, people want to know, like, what practical skills, what practical exercises am I going to learn? So give the people,
Yeah.
Kenson, if you can, it's a little sneak peek of what they in for.
Sneak peek. And so one of the things that people have around public speaking, because public speaking is the number one fear for people, adults. And so one of the things we will intentionally hit on is working on the mindset, because people really get some level of anxiety when they know that they're about to open their mouths to speak. And so we will be doing in time actions where each participant will have to speak out loud, right? Because here's the thing, you all know, those who are listening, those who are watching this back professionally, you have a message that you want to deliver. And the less anxiety you have about delivering that message, the better you're going to be able to communicate that message. And so I believe in putting people in situations, in time situations, to be able to get through and conquer those different levels of anxiety. And, in fact, just thinking back to the last boot camp that we did, there was so much success in that, because they were like, Kenston, if you didn't put us in that situation, we might not have pushed ourselves to do so. And so that's what you can look forward to is getting good at being uncomfortable. And that's what we do anyways as speakers and trainers is we put ourselves in situations where we have to perform, that we have to deliver um, really well. So for example, we both went through the TEDx process. Now, bro, you kicked it off and did the TEDx process. How was that for you? How did that help you as a speaker and trainer and coach?
Well, I will tell you, being honest, it's like anything else. You fill out an application and you like, I won't get picked. I filled out these things before, but when I got that notification, all the anxiousness, all the anxiety, all the stuff you just got finished describing, it was like a thunderstorm
Talk about it.
that came upon me, and then the process started. And I never forget the first introduction into the TEDx journey before hitting that red circle for TEDx Youngstown. It was the conversation from the event organizer and our speaker coach, and the real sobering conversation around everybody who is on this first call will not, some of you won't be here on game day. And it will have nothing to do with whether or not you have something that people should hear. It'll be some of the things you mentioned, Kenston, the fear, the false evidence that somebody made real, instead of forgetting
Mhm.
everything and rejoicing, as you like to say.
Uh-huh.
And it will be that anxiousness that overcomes and overwhelms, that they'll take themselves out the game. And sure enough, it happened. And so for me to see people who I was in a coaching circle with not be present anymore because something overcame them, I had to then self-regulate. And so my background in leadership and organizational development and all the rest of that, I had to deploy all those skills to keep me in the pocket. But it was really focused me on, do I even believe in what I want to deliver?
Hmm.
And if you're grounded in, I believe in this message that I want to give out to the world, and this is not just an idea worth spreading, this is a idea worth living. And for me, actions over idea always win was that grounding principle for me that I pulled that thread all the way through. And that experience in the memorizing of the script that I literally, my speaker coach, she was dwindling, like whittling it down. She was like, you gotta have it in you. You gotta have it in you. And in the last words that I ended up with, that 9 minutes and 46 seconds of words, all the words mattered.
Yeah.
And so getting through that process, I tell you, I could prepare for anything, because we prepared 2.5 months for 9 minutes and 46 seconds.
Yeah.
And so those are the types of things that I think that process, like, it can't be replicated. What about you, bro? How was your process getting ready for yours?
Listen, it was like I was pumped because I seen you do it and I was like, okay, that's a goal. And I was like, I knew I needed to level up in different areas of speaking. And I did, once I applied. And like you said, it's nothing like getting that acceptance. And it's like, ooh, okay, I really got to get down. And it was a beautiful, crazy experience. Like just going through the process and structuring. And I had two coaches, bro. So they was both at me. And it was a good thing. And but it was like, okay, I gotta get it done. And learning it and very structured. And those who are speakers, those who are watching this video, those who are again desire to speak on stage, this is what you want to intentionally take yourself through this process because it's going to only make you better as a speaker. And one of the parts in the public speaking boot camp is going to be a part of the TEDx process. And so it's not enough just to get accepted. You got to do some work, and it's good, necessary, hard work because now I feel like I'm definitely a better speaker for my audience that I serve. And so, but like you said, I was using your quotes, actions over ideas. I was saying that before I went on stage, actions over ideas. There's no more ideas. It's action. And again, the speaker boot camp is going to be all about putting you in those necessary situations so you can take action. Because here's the thing. You have something to say, and somebody needs to hear it and receive it at your best. But you're going to have to do this intentional work. And so, but the TEDx process was one of those ones where it's like, I'm so glad I did it. I'm getting anxious because I'm ready to do another one. I don't know about you. I'm ready to do
Yeah,
another one.
it's on
Uh,
the list. It's on the list. And I want to implore people, right? If you're thinking about it, and I've seen a bunch of people clicking, always get the looky loos
oh yeah,
when you post stuff and clicking on the links. I don't know if you've been able to check the website traffic
yeah,
of the looky loos. Y'all have to understand this is not just about main stage type of skill development.
no,
This is everyday
every day.
interactions, whether you're on a stage or you're at work in front of your team members, in front of your leaders, in front of your executives. It's how to deliver a message that people want to listen to.
Yeah,
And you can prepare in a meaningful way, regardless if it's a 5 minute talk or it's an hour long presentation. The skills that you're going to get from the boot camp are applicable
yeah,
across the different formats of delivery. And so for you all, if you're thinking like, oh, this is just about being on stage, you're on stage the moment you open your mouth,
yeah,
regardless of where you are. And Kenston told that story about us growing up. The reason why I ain't mentioned that one, because I'm trying to put some of that out of my mind. Because the first time I got in front of those 700 people in the congregation, I remember busting out crying as a little kid. And it was like I was already, a little cute, little chubby little guy. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, man, who are all these people looking at me? But the more reps that I was able to give
Mhm.
myself in this boot camp, and again, and I love that we call it boot camp because this is your gym. This
Yeah,
is for you to sweat it out with other like-minded people who are in this with you, creating community so
yeah,
that again, you're around people who want to deliver messages well. And so now coming in with setting that intention, coming
mhm,
in ready to work to get some sweat equity out
yeah,
of this boot camp and then continue on that journey moving forward. And this is about progress, not perfection. This is
mhm.
about taking good reps as we work through the Spooker boot camp. So, Kenston, how do people get connected? How do people begin registering? What's all of that?
Yeah. So here's the thing. We want the right people to be in this speaker boot camp. Who are we talking to? We're talking about professionals. If you're a manager, if you're a leader, and you desire to become better, if you're someone who desires again to speak on stage and you want to increase your skill set, if you desire to again get past of the false evidence appearing real, this is for you. If you just even want to test to see if just again being able to speak up in the office setting, like you're a value add to your organization once you speak and once you speak up clearly. And so we desire to walk on that journey with you. And so the speaker boot camp is on March 22nd. Did I get that right? March
Yes.
22nd
Yes, sir. March 22nd.
from 9:30 to 4 p.m. 9:30 to 4 p.m. And here's the thing, because we believe in no excuses. And so we have a virtual option and an in person option. If you're in Central Ohio, Columbus, Ohio specifically, we will be physically in person. But then if you're outside of Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, um, you can be the virtual option. We also have two options for the boot camp. There is day one, just one day of the speaker boot camp. But then we have a second option where it includes the speaker boot camp and seven weeks of coaching, additional to the boot camp, and which is going to help you get really, really clear in your messaging. Is going to help you really get clear on, who your target audience is. Is going to be getting very clear on you becoming the best speaker that you desire to be. and you're going to take it from there. Um, Go to our website, livewithlife.com. Once you get there, you go to the events tab. Under the events tab, you will select the Game Changer Public Speaking Bootcamp. Um, by the end of the session, the Speaker Bootcamp, you will receive a Game Changer certificate of completion. And we named the Game Changer Speaker Bootcamp the way it is named after our father. Right, our father is the game changer, and so we are, a part of keeping that legacy going and alive. He was a preacher, a teacher, father, a husband, all those things in his life together collectively made him the ultimate game changer. Everybody knows Coach Lawrence Henderson. Everybody knows teacher, educator, and pastor, and so forth. And so we're honoring our father with this boot camp. And so you're going to get two amazing speakers with over 40 plus years of public speaking experience. I am certified speaking professional and a part of National Speaker Association. Lawrence he is ICF accredited coaching certified extraordinaire. You get two incredible people walking alongside you in this journey. And so we hope that you join us. We're doing this. There is a discounted price going on right now. So definitely head over to our website and we will make sure that you get locked in, everything that you needed. Don't worry, you will have a booklet to follow along with the presentation. And it's going to be so much fun. Like I'm so looking forward to having so much fun with everyone who jumps in with us. And here's the thing: if you can make it March 22nd, we do have another one July 26th, and these are live sessions. These are not webinars, pre-recorded webinars or pre-recorded sessions. These are live sessions. So definitely let's lock in. We look forward to having going on this journey with you.
All right, y'all. Well, hey, Kenston gave you all the information, so do something with it. Until next time, we'll see y'all soon.